out when you do.
95, it's a lightweight for everybody. It's a lightweight for everybody.
The CrossFit Games 2025 are happening right now. And no matter what you think about the event, these dudes and dudettes are hoisting crazy weights, pushing themselves through insane circuits. How is that even... Sorry. All jokes aside, these guys and gals are insanely fit. I'm not here to deny that or claim that I can do it better. Because if I entered a competition like this at 41, I'd probably injure myself and fry my nervous system to the brink of collapse. What I make this video for is to consider the sequence of moves at the CrossFit Games and whether you should recreate workouts like this for your own good. You see, CrossFit coaches claim that intensity delivers results, and more on this later. Aside from the PED question that the athletes have to answer by themselves, the sequence and moves in these events is simply there to get you tired. And of course, the insane pace at which some of these competitors can complete sequences of endurance, power, strength, all lumped together, and speed, this is impressive. That's not the point. The point is whether these exercises and moves are logically cohesive in programming. And hint, they're probably not. And I assume that's intentional at the CrossFit Games. And this video I'm making wouldn't exist otherwise. There's a small segment, however, where a coach says this.
Now, intensity is just power output. The more power you produce, the higher your intensity. Why do we love intensity so much? That intensity is the best way to get results and to get results quickly.
Let's unpack this. Intensity is not a tenet of physical quality or performance. It's simply an equivalent to the rate of perceived exertion, which everybody experiences differently. In simple terms, it just describes how intensive a workout, a sequence, or an exercise really feels to you. There are, roughly speaking, 4 tenets of physical performance. Let's highlight them. To make it easy, let's use the adjectives hard, far, fast, and last to describe them. Force means hard. How much energy can you put into an object? Think of a heavy deadlift. Work means far. How far can you move an object? Think of a prowler sled. Power means fast. How much energy can you squeeze into an object at a given unit of time? Think of a jerk. And finally, endurance means last. How much energy can you sustain over a long period of time, running or kettlebell swing, for example? Now, all 4 tenets can feel intense on their own. And while it is important to work hard, like experience some form of intensity when you physically exert yourself, it is not the key metric to results. And now that you understand power, you probably realize that the CrossFit coach misspoke. While power means you're moving fast and this can feel intense, in order to be as explosive as possible, you don't want to burn yourself out thinking that the feeling of intensity has to overshadow the fast work that you're putting on display. Now, results come from applying proper training principles consistently over time. So while my Master of Sport Snatch, where I did 100 reps with a 32 kg kettlebell, felt insanely intense and harder than anything else I've done in my life, it is not necessary to continuously push myself into that red zone. And by the way, speaking of results, if my goal was to improve my power output or get as strong as possible, the snatch wouldn't have been the proper choice. And by the way, no athlete spends lots and lots of time in the red zone. Matter of fact, they try to avoid it until they come close to competition day. And while that snatch set earned me my Master of Sport title and brought me other benefits like an improved strength endurance, I have not gotten stronger by doing this, because physical performance and its benefits exist on a spectrum. So when we speak of results, we have to individually explain and describe and define what this really means. So the bottom line, you don't have to continuously burn yourself out for results. It's not required. I would even say if you're over 40, 50, or 60, you have to be very careful with the red zone. Because if you continuously spend time in there, you might burn yourself out, injure yourself, irritate nerves, joints, or muscles, or wreck yourself completely so that you have to spend lots and lots of time away from training in order to get back on your feet. And please note, I do appreciate the many facets that CrossFit has brought to the table since its inception. But the hyperfixation on intensity can lead to serious problems, and it's not necessary for serious, sustained, and long-term results. If you liked the video, like it and consider subscribing. My name is Gregory von Lebe. We're dedicated to kettlebells for people over 40. If you want to know what type of kettlebell I use in my workouts, it's the Pro Kettlebell, and you can get 10% off in the link in the description. And if you want to learn more about kettlebells, consider downloading my free ebook, The Kettlebell Code. Close to 30 pages, over 8,000 words, with 40 resources to help you get started with kettlebells in no time. I believe the kettlebell is the perfect tool for over 40s, and if you want to get started with a shortcut, you have to download my ebook. It's in the first link in the description.